Hello and good evening. I know it's late, but it's still Wednesday at me. It's 22:20, so 10:20 p.m. Straight into the news. Which one? We have like a little bit. We're gonna go with Oregon Blitz. They did a blitz on 84, I-84, and 20% of around 500 trucks were stopped. So what's 25% out of that? 250 is 50, so 100 and something trucks are out of service. And what they said is mostly because the trucks were like having two ELDs, multiple logs, fake logs, a bunch of multiple logs people, multiple e-logs. So even with the e-logs, they have like how they do it on paper. Um, So, and they said another blitz is coming, and in autumn or like August, they have a brake check week or something. Another short news is in Ontario, the police had Project Pelican, where they were monitoring like a group of people that were bringing cocaine into Canada, and they got something 479 kilograms of cocaine, and 9 people arrested. Uh, you can search the news online to see who are the people. And only thing I'm gonna say, only only 500 kilos of cocaine. I think in Canada enters shitloads more, shitloads more. Because if you go downtown Vancouver, yeah, no, it's a lot more than 500 kilograms, and I that's what I believe. And I don't even know if it's the good kind of coke. Maybe it's filtered with something. Let's go with in what order? Oh, this one I like, kinda. So, multiple people, MPs from Ontario, uh, proposed the Highway 11 and 17 Safety Act on June 4th at Parliament, I presume. So I really like both highways. Highway 17 is very, very scenic, like it's from Thunder Bay, like it's earlier than that, but whatever. So the most part is Thunder Bay to what's the other? Sudbury. Beautiful, beautiful to drive. It's slow, especially in summer. In winter, it's shit because it's bad. Highway 11 is a lot more straight, not as scenic, still beautiful, but a lot more straight, a lot, even though it's longer by 60 something kilometers, it's faster. The average speed is faster on 11. But also lots of accidents on both highways, especially on 17. On 17, there are shitloads of corners that are off camber. So they're downhill and off camber, like a left-hander. There's one where you have the lake, Superior Lake in front of you, and there's not one, multiple like this. You have the downhill left, and it's off camber. So when you're in winter, if you don't you don't know the corner or you're not careful, you're going to the ditch straight. And I've seen plenty in the ditch there and in other places. And also another thing that happens on both highways is that there are drivers that drive very slow, especially on 17, but also in 11. And then they have like 20 trucks plus another 10 cars behind. They're not going to let them pass. I don't know why. And people are going to try to pass wherever they can because some trucks are paid by the mile and they don't have time to drive 60 for 4,000 kilometers. And when the trucker tries to pass, the small car will go, oh, okay, oh, sorry, I wake up. I'm going to drive now normally. So then accidents happens, and also bad drivers. And anyway, what the MPs propose, which I'll give my opinion after. So full staff on scales. So the Thunder Bay one, what's the other one? Hearst, and I forgot. There are another 2-3 ones on 11, and also on 17. So full staff on scale for at least 12 hours a day. I understand that many people will run trucks overweight, and also I presume the scales will be open for check if you're over. I presume they're not going to check every day like an inspection 3, like full vehicle inspection. If they do that, then that's worth it, because then you take trucks that are not properly maintained because companies want to be cheap and drivers don't have, I'm not gonna say enough balls, because you still have to put food on the table and you cannot pick a fight with your boss every time, man. But if you know your truck is not good, I don't know, I I will not drive. I'll like, fuck off. I don't have any brakes or like whatever. If there's a small air leak or like something manageable, sure, but no, nothing big. I'll not drive. Fuck them. So if they're proposing, hey, scales should be open for inspection every day, sure, that makes sense for safety. It makes sense also for trucks that are overweight, because if you're overweight, brakes might fail. You don't care, like stuff like that might break. But for me, this is like a hint. Maybe also a little bit of money. Maybe, I do not know. I'm saying another measure that they want is more police officers on both highways, which I agree. I had This is only 2 times in my life where I had to call the police on someone else. So there's this trucker. I was close to entering Kapuska Singh. And when you enter Kapuska Singh, you have double yellow and the speed limit is 70. And we're like bumper to bumper. And here comes this trucker. Again, I am fairly light, keeping a decent distance, but not like half a truck or something for 60 kilometers an hour. This truck comes on double yellow, passes 3 trucks, and pushes me off the road. I see him. I'm assuming he's gonna pass the other trucks in front of me. No, he just swerves into me. I went on the emergency lane and like braked and avoided because the speed wasn't that big. But I was like, bro, what the fuck? I understand you want to pass and give me a flash. I'll let you if you're such in a hurry. But again, the entry in the city, the bridge is like right there. What the fuck are you doing? And that annoyed and if like I put hazards or something, or like, hey, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Nothing. I was like, okay, fuck you then. So I called the police. I had a dash cam. I sent them to the dash cam and the company name and everything. But they told me, we don't have enough officers to go chase him or follow him and stuff like that. So with this, more OPP, sure, I agree. And another measurement that I also agree, but I'm skeptical. They want the winter maintenance to be back to government or to the provinces or whatever, municipalities. And that I agree, because driving in Norway and Sweden and having full winters there and noticing how they handle winter conditions, coming into Canada where I know it's bigger winters, minus 40, blah, 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 all the shit that Canada has, I'm like, it's gonna be amazing, clean, whatever. I was like very surprised when I'm going on, I understand, like, let's say Winnipeg, they have the snow blows, whatever. Actually, I don't understand. There are measures. Canada is not the only country that has strong winds and minus 40. And in other countries, they do a better job. So if the company is private, maybe they're like, I'm private, I don't want to send the trucks like non-stop every half an hour because that wastes me money. So maybe the government will do a better job. I do not know, but that's what they want. On 11, Ontario has like the Ontario 911 app or what, the 511 app, and you can see where the trucks are. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe my anecdotal experience doesn't relate with real life. But last winter, I drove Ontario a lot, right? And the streams are there. In the night, I didn't see any plows. Like, none. Or if I saw one, it was like 4 a.m. Like from 11 to 4 a.m., I didn't see any plows. And I'm like, is it not snowing, or they don't need to be cleaned in the night, or are we not driving in the night? What's going on? I don't understand. And same for Alberta and BC. I didn't see plows so many in the night. I saw fresh snow a lot and drove to fresh snow and drove carefully. But so if the government takes back, I hope they do a better job. That remains to be seen. Anyway, I don't know if the proposal passed or not, but they put it on June 4th. Okay. Bison, the big company, Bison, the trucking company, uh, is at the forefront for zero emission initiatives, which already raises for me a lot of red flags. But again, that's a private company. They can do whatever the fuck they want, whatever they think. Anyway, but their safety officer talked that okay, we are at the forefront, and you use the multiple of different trucks, like full EV trucks. They had Nikola and I think Freightliner, then a hybrid, and then hydrogen fuel cell, which is like you have hydrogen tanks, but still goes to batteries and an electric power. It's not hydrogen combustion, which is a different thing. Hydrogen combustion is like a regular engine, but instead of diesel is hydrogen for the power. So they tried a lot of things. The only thing that I saw in this news, I found it weird. I don't have the specs. I just found it weird. So you had the Nikola with full batteries, a Freightliner, and I saw the pictures of the Freightliner with the full batteries. And then you go as the safety officer and state the following: we don't like the hydrogen combo because it's heavier than full EV. I'm like, how? The math for me doesn't add up. Like a full EV truck has like lots of batteries for not so great distance, as far as I saw. And you're telling me a normal combustion hydrogen with regular tanks is heavier than full EV? Maybe I read the sentence wrong. That no. And also, like they are pushing, oh, we have to be zero energy, zero emission because it's very important, blah blah blah. And talking about zero emission, which is supposed to be a good news, but I have a lot of debate about it. Element trucks from Ontario, Etiboke, whatever, you know that, has released, they're not released, they're planning to release a 63-ton truck, which is hydrogen fuel cell. So again, hydrogen tanks, electric powertrain. The electric powertrain will be 360 kilowatts, which is, I looked it up, is about 480 horsepower, British horsepower. So it's adequate because most of the Volvos are 450, mine is 5. It's built in Canada. I don't know what built in Canada means because the actual build is built on a Peterbilt glider chassis. So I presume that comes from America. So I presume the assembly is in Canada. I'm not hating here. I'm just trying to figure out the process. The tanks are at the back of the cab at 700 bars. Seeing so many accidents and trucks flipping, I hope they're like thick walls or something. And this piece of news was also in collaboration with Ontario, that says Ontario commits to hydrogen, like as a source of energy. And they have different pilot projects of, I don't know, some multiple $1 million for people that want to invest in this. And they want to open fuel stations for hydrogen. Because at the moment, one of the problems for elemental trucks is they don't have any hydrogen fuel station. The only one is at the airport. And the other one was purchased for the other truck company that went bankrupt or like was a scam. The thing that raised red flags for me is like the spokesman of this company, like a politician, used a lot of fancy words, like a lot of high-level words to say nothing, like nothing concrete. Oh, this is the range, this is how much it works in cold conditions, because Ontario, like, and said, okay, the market is British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, and Quebec. It's like, okay, but tell us what's the plan, what's the future? Okay, you're gonna release it next year, but nothing you can tell us, only that it's hydrogen fuel power. Okay, sure, but again, so he urges that we need to decarbonize the trucking industry because in his word is like the trucking industry is becoming the largest greenhouse emissions thing ever. So we have to be careful because earth and all that crap. And then greenhouse emission, decarbonize, and all of these fancy words. And I'm like, yo, and I made this argument before. I looked the stats on worldmetersinfo.com. So this website that I found, and Canada, where I live and I love to drive, is 11th in terms of pollution, which is okay. 11 from 100 whatever countries to 100, it's pretty high up. Sure, okay. What is the percentage of pollution that Canada has from the total of 100? According to this website, worldmetersinfo.com or .net, Canada has 1.51% of the total population pollution. So I'm like, how much? 1.51, 1.51% out of the total pollution? Sure, okay. China has 32%. Oh shit. USA, second place. So China first place, USA second place with 12%. I'm not hating, I'm just stating what this website says. India, 7%. So let's go with, Canada is going to be 0%. So 0%. That still remains 98.5%, 98.49%, whatever, yeah? Canada rushing and with the new government, Alberta needs to decarbonize the oil sands. Guys, are you fucking insane? You have so many resources and you're like, no, we have to be green. Common sense logic, I presume it's gone out the fucking window. Because maybe I'm stupid, and I will admit if I'm stupid 100%, but this does not make any sense for me. So these elemental trucks, maybe they're good, maybe they're going to be the future. I do not know. Out of curiosity, I looked, and Volvo has full hydrogen combustion engines in Europe, and they're mainly using it, and I found this on the Volvo website, they're using it for the heavy equipment like excavators and stuff like that, like for construction, mining, stuff like that. So I presume they're still testing, and when the infrastructure for hydrogen is available, they already have it in the trucks, but not as available. I insist, from my dumb research that I did, hydrogen is a lot more feasible for planes, ships, trucks, trains than batteries will ever be. Because in hydrogen can be stored in the tanks that we already have. I'm not saying these exact tanks, or maybe you can clean them or something and you put hydrogen, but I don't think they'll withstand the high pressure that you need. But again, tanks, you don't need extra shit, right? It's not, and you don't, with hydrogen, you don't go on the electrical grid, right, to charge, especially with hydrogen, combustion hydrogen. Also, I presume with hydrogen combustion, the engine and the trucks will last longer, while the batteries, like I presume like in phones, after 5 years your phone, you need a new battery because it's only going to go 80% or it's going to deplete faster. Maybe the batteries will become amazing. I do not know. So this, so when I started reading the news, oh my God, yesterday I was thinking, hydrogen is the future. Today here's the news, hydrogen is the future. Like, yeah, amazing. I'm such a good guy, I predict the future. And then as soon as I finished the news article, and I read like, we need to decarbonize, then truck in greenhouses and stuff like that. Ah, okay, yeah, we're going to shit. It's the good intentions, bad reasoning, or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe they will be amazing. I do not know. And we're gonna finish up with Reddit with a question that I did ask myself, but I'm in Canada and I cannot do much about it. Even as far as I understood, nothing about it. So on Reddit, user 2271 Piece Reaper, so he's ripping piece apart, I presume, says, "Do you carry a piece or not?" In his words, he'll be rather be judged by 12 people than carried by 6, which is a nice phrase. I like it. And I traveled in the States, right? And I traveled in Europe when it was shitty. And if you go in South France, Spain, stuff like that, you have a lot of people that will put back in the day when I was driving, you put sleeping gas in the cabin from the front of the engine, and then you break in and steal everything. So I didn't experience that, but I had friends or like acquaintances that experienced that. And I traveled in the States, and I didn't get in any problems, but I'm sure there's a lot of dangerous places where truckers get robbed and stuff like that. So carrying a piece, it seems by what he says, I didn't check this, I didn't fact check this. A lot of states don't allow truckers to carry a piece. I believe not a concealed piece, but maybe even though if you have a permit or not. So he's asking, are you still carrying even if it's not allowed by the law or the company, or not? And I'm on the not, but willing. Like if Canada will be more open to that, I'll be willing. I asked an officer in Ontario, because the Flying J in Toronto is a little bit shady, and I saw some shady shit there, and I'm like, yo, can I at least have some pepper spray or something? And I asked the officer, and this is anecdotal because maybe he doesn't know, and I didn't fact check. Hey, Mr. Officer, can I have like spray with me, like pepper spray, in case? No, you cannot. I'm like, what? Yeah, you cannot, because it's not allowed, because maybe he mistakes the trucks and you pepper spray for nothing. I'm like, okay, sure. And then in my mind immediately came that video, when the one of the policemen in Ontario says, hey, leave your car keys at the front of the door. So if the thieves want to steal your car and they enter the home, they find the keys in the front of the door, and then they don't go inside the house to kill you and do stuff like that. So let them steal your car, because it's better than to go in. And then in response, there's the Florida officer that goes, yo, I want to thank the people that shot the thieves in their house, because that's what you're supposed to do. So I'm like, yeah, if you enter my truck, I don't know. It's an interesting question for truckers these days. And sadly for me, I experienced Europe with the earlier story that I told you, but also like it happened to me. You go to sleep, and if you use earplugs or something, like sometimes I use because I have a reefer, people steal the diesel. They open the cap, and they empty your tanks in a small car that has some. So I would like to be somewhat protected. I don't know, bulletproof glass and like doors that cannot unlock. The question is serious, and I would, if I don't know, I'm not gonna break the law to carry a piece. That's for sure. I'm gonna break company policy to carry a piece, if that's so. If the law allows me to carry a piece, whatever, small, whatever, I'm not gonna have a bazooka with me, or an AK. Well, a white AK will be nice, but not AK-47. But and then if the law allows me and the company says no, you're not allowed to piece, I'll yeah. I'm not carrying anything. I'll keep it on hidden or something. Anyway, that's it for the, what is called, the brief episode 3. And we had some interesting news. I really like the one with Highway 11 and 17 because I drove those highways a lot, and I love to drive on both. I think better driving schools, and I think they said something about this article for Ontario overall. Better driving schools where they teach you how to drive. They don't, because I think I saw a post on Reddit, and I'm gonna finish because it's too long already. One of the truck drivers was saying, "Hey, these driving schools are teaching truckers, people. They're teaching people how to get a CDL, not how to drive a truck." So that's a big difference, and I agree. And I think truck driving schools should be held accountable, like have a percentage. Okay, you have, I don't know, 100 drivers, and one of your drivers had an accident, especially if it's his fault. Driving school has like a rating. You had a driver that had an accident, it's 99%. And also, I'm I'm not being fair here, because when I came, it was different laws, but driving school should have mandatory at least 200-300 hours of driving. And there's no such thing as short driver shortage. I do not believe that there's a driver shortage of cheap drivers. Like, all companies, they don't have enough drivers that they can pay 30 cents a mile. Yes, that I agree. No problem. But then you see trucks in the ditch a lot, especially in winter between BC and Alberta. Every day there's 3 trucks in ditch. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna start the stream a little bit later, like I don't know, in an hour or 2. See you then. And yeah, see you tomorrow for some other briefs, news in the trucking world. Best of luck in whatever you're doing. Bye bye.